guys, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report, and it's going to be a pretty fun one. I've been doing this campaign for about the last 4 months with Kieran Dunleavy and a couple other guys, and we're finally at the end. This is the last game. This is a campaign that comes from the Blood in the Badlands book, and now this last game here will be a Triumph and Treachery. Now, for those who don't know what that is, it's really a format that's designed to have, like, this is how you play a game with lots of players, and then it's not just like, well, just put 6 guys on the board. There's also cards in there that do wacky things and all the rest of it. So very, very interesting. It'll be lots of fun. And the first thing I want to show here is that if you're going to be doing a big game like this, it's going to take a while. This is the supper I made my kids to keep them busy in a way. And you might say, like, Malorian, that's horrible parenting. But keep in mind, there's chocolate-covered raisins, so I have vegetables. There is raspberry filling in there, so there's fruits. I have milk, because milk chocolate, and I got bread there. So this is actually a perfectly balanced meal. And the guys, we're going to have pizza. You can see here my Chuck Norris pizza, where it's literally just a package of bacon. And there you go. And another one you can see up there is my Bachelor's Delight, which is just hot dogs and mushrooms. Guess which one was more popular? Now, let's get to the real stuff here. And by the way, I should also say that I have a new camera now. So my old camera, I lost the charger. That's why I've had some kind of crappy stuff for a while. And now I got a new camera, a better camera. However, I was having some flash issues. I swear. Sorry, guys. Always something technical. But it's still going to be way better pictures than before. So at first, you'll see some kind of crazy flashes. And then I'm just going to turn the flash off. But anyway, these are going to be my 3 leaders that were on during the campaign. They all survived to the end, so I get to use all of them. And so in the middle, we have Merika. He's going to be a Black Orc war boss. He is going to be having the armor of Gork. During the campaign, I got a free item, so I have a free Sword of Bloodshed. And as well, I also had an injury twice during the campaign. So I'm going to be suffering from stupidity, and I'm -1 movement. I thought about having him on a Wyvern like last time, but really the way the campaign works is that during the campaign and with the maps and all that stuff, you get these relics. And at the very end here, you get a number of relics equal to what you have during the game or the campaign. So normally you would get these extra points that you can use to buy mercenaries or that you can use to bribe people. Well, this one, you don't get anything free. It's only what you got in the campaign. Now, the way that you win the Blood and Badlands is whoever has the most victory points at the end. So I just kept all my stuff as just the regular points. So going into this, I'm going to have something like 1,350 victory points automatically. As well, one of my mines gave me some extra points. So whereas the start value for this was a 2,000 point game, I'm going to have another 100. So that's going to be nice. But really what I'm trying to get to is that I had to cut back. And so I'm going to be making my army so it's only the effective stuff, which will hopefully get out there and kill some more things. Looking at this as well, I also have Mulik on the right. He's going to be a level 2 Savage Orc Shaman, who is going to be losing his spell scroll, so no scroll there. And his 2 spells will be the 2 sniper ones. I have Brainbuster and Edbutt. And then finally on the left, I have probably the one who's been doing the best, Whelpsley, my Goblin War Boss with the Wizarding Hat, who gets +1 speed. So he's actually pretty fast and dodgy. All right, and as well, I took this picture to show, again, you can't have a big game without some Sambuca, so I got that going on. And as well, my Wizarding Hat, what I got there was Shadow, and I got Occam's Mind Razor. So that's going to be awesome. Can't wait to play that. And as well, I also got Enfeebling Foe. All right, so the first one to place their army here was Kieran Dunleavy. He is playing with the Skaven here, so you can see he has a Gracier on the bell. He has a couple of Warp Lightning Cannons. He went and he took the Doom Bell, Rat Darts, another block there that has his Warlord with the Failblade. He's going to also have a Helped Abomination, a couple of the Warped Fire Throwers, and then he has his mercenaries. And what he took for his mercenaries was a Witch Hunter and 2 Steam Tanks. So, this is that kind of neat stuff you can do. However, there's also a mechanic in it that, sure, you can take mercenaries from a different army, but other people can bribe them to do nothing. So you have to kind of worry about that too. By the way, the person that the Witch Hunter is after, and also in what is it? Dwellers Below? No, that's not Dwellers Below. Do that? It was the Black Sun. The pedophile that he's after is Mulik. So apparently, my Mulik is a pedophile. Next one to deploy. This guy has been giving me trouble the whole time. You kind of notice that I had more losses than wins, and that's because of this guy here, this Lisbon player. We're going to call him Leroy. Now, Leroy, or actually, yeah, we'll talk about the board when we get there, but he also went and took an extra army as mercenaries, and so what he's going to have is 3 units of Skinks. He's going to have a big unit of Saurus Cav up there, and then he's going to have a bus of Saurus with like 5 characters in there. So he has this one guy, Leroy, that's super, super powerful because he's got all these extra items for free and stuff. But yeah, that's a really tough unit. 2 of them are on the cold ones, so I mean, cannons could really deal some big damage to them, but we'll see what happens there. Otherwise, in the Ogre army, he has some bulls, which are going to be having a bruiser in there, or sorry, Iron Guts that has a bruiser in there. Then he has 2 the Iron Blasters, and then 4 Mornfang that's going to be actually off the board. You can also see that his forces are decided to go the hell away over that way. All right, and then we're going to be having the High Elves. They're going to be deployed over here, and you're going to be having the I believe there were Silver Helms. I'm not totally sure. Then you have a big block of the Sword Masters. They're going to have the BSB. They're going to have Caster here as well. And then in the back, you're going to have your Phoenix Guard, some Caster in there. And then back to the house, also some Archers. He also decided to keep all of his relics as just points, but he had fewer relics going into this. And then there's me. Then there's the good guys. So again, I just... it's not going to be a big army because I took just what I had. So I'm going to go from right to left for my nice surprise. I'm going to have Mulik, who will be in his Savage Orc Biggins. There's going to be Whelpsley. And also, sorry, I didn't say Mulik has the Shrunken Head, so he's in there as well. I have Whelpsley in a bunker of archers. In the back, I have 2 Doom Divers and 2 Rock Labas. And then I have my Regiments of Renown from the campaign, my Thunder Orcs of Orc Olympus. And what they got is Always Strike First. So these guys are going to be fantastic. Now, we rolled to see where we were before we deployed. And so the Lisbon player knew I was going to be here. And so it is really bad for me that he is not giving me anyone to fight. He is running away. But one of the other issues I have is that to the right of me will be a Chaos player, which is my ally. And when you do this deployment, you have to stay a foot away from everybody. So that's why I put his Skinks in the front. They keep me further back. And then I want to be not on the line on the right because I want to give him some more room. The Warriors, a Chaos guy, because really the ones that are in the middle of the board have a really small deployment. And so I'm going like this because the main idea was that America's going to be slow, right? That unit will be movement 3, and then the Trolls will have to really try and catch up. Now, the other fun thing that I did here is you might notice I didn't take a BSB. However, all my units suffer from stupidity. So yeah, that'll be fun. Otherwise, here in the middle, we have another Lizardman player. I think he's going to be in some trouble, but what he has is 3 units of Skinks. Teku Echo will be in one of them. He also has a Ancient Stegodon. He is going to have some Croxagore, some Salamanders, a Old Blood and Carnosaur, a big block of Saurus back there with the BSB. Then there's also going to be the Temple Guard with the Slan. And then finally, here is my Chaos ally. We've been allied almost the whole campaign because he got to capture Whelpsley, even though I beat him. The way that things rolled out, he got to capture my general for some reason. And then in giving it back, we formed an alliance, which worked out really well for me on the map anyway. But now he's here. He has a huge block of his warriors. He has a couple of Nurgle chariots. He's going to have his Tzinch Demon Prince. He is going to be having some other characters on demonic steeds. And then he's going to take Skaven allies. And so he took an engineer, 2 warp lightning cannons, a helping abomination, and a doom wheel. This is the epitome of, the dark side of allies. So overall, this is the entire board here. Something that we just added into this for fun is we just kind of made up our own scenario where, okay, there is one scenario where there's like an objective in the middle of everyone's board that you can try going after. Well, in honor of the pizzas that we made, we put these 5 pizza tokens around. And what we're going to do is at the end of every game turn, if you have a unit within 6 inches of it, you will score an extra 100 points. If it's contested, nobody gets it. So that's going to be going on. One thing that's kind of really big to see here, though, is that I don't really have much to fight. I'm off here in a corner. I have some skinks. I need to get into this really quick, but I'm going to be kind of slow. Meanwhile, the other thing you can see that happened with deployments is that the Lisbon player, the blue one, Leroy, faced onto the inside, and they put the slant and the temple guard there. So I don't know what tricks he has, but that could be a really big hit really early. All right, so we are going to be going with the Chaos player first. The Hellpit Abomination fails to get in there, but the Demon Prince and the Nurgle Chariot both get into the Silver Helms. This is what I want to show where this is the points we had going in. So, sorry, I had 1250 going in. Leroy at the top left spent all of his on Ogres. The other Lisbon player will be the I Love PC. There's a lot of inside jokes here. I'm just not going to bother explaining them. Just know who they are. Dun Dun Dun, that's Dunleavy, the Skaven. Wah, of course, you should know who that is. The real Keith, that's the Chaos guy beside me, and the Dirty Elves are the Dirty Elves. This board actually is the same order of where they are on the board. So going into this, I have a significant lead, but again, it's going to be hard for me to score more points, so I need to get in there so that I don't lose that lead. So after everything's done for the Chaos player, they don't really kill very much. I mean, they do a good smashing to the Silver Helms, but they hold and do nothing. And then with the shooting phase, he tried hard to try and kill that Carnosaur there, but everything just went short. All right, so we're on to the Lisbon player, the blue one, Leroy, and he's going to charge in here. He also tried to charge in with the super character bus as well, but they failed their charge. In the magic phase, he has 3 skink priests, which it's hard to see, but they're also part of the bust there. But they all go for wild form, so he gets double wild form in that unit. And it turns out that strength 7 Saurus, yeah, they can do a pretty good hit. So those Temple Guard were crushed. There's only like 7 or 6 of them left, so that's really bad for them. Otherwise, things moving up. He tries to take shots at that Carnosaur as well. Also misses, so that Carnosaur dodgy so far. All right, now we're going to go on to the Skaven player. And again, the order here for the player turn is going to change all the time. Normally, it's designed for up to 5 players, and there's cards that you're just going to draw randomly. We're going to use Pokemon cards because we're 6, and it's just fun. But now we're going to be going with the Skaven next. And it turns out that, those engineers don't know how to really use those new steam tanks because he has a misfire early. Here's the worst one you can see for the Flash. But what happens here is I was holding onto a card where if something fails, it's a miscast. Or what I can do, sorry, if a spell fails, I can make it so it automatically is cast, but it's a miscast. And so I wasn't even really paying attention because I was just kind of looking at the board and stuff. And I heard a spell failed to cast. I'm like, yeah, card. And so it turned out to be the Grayseer here, who is going to be casting, I don't know, whatever spell. But the main thing is he's going to get the Dimensional Cascade. So he wasn't pulled into the warp, but what that did cause was a big kind of, actually, this wasn't caught by this. He also had a misfire in his warp lightning cannon. Came over here and blasted these guys, which is going to kill some, but as well hit the BSB. No problem, right? We're just going to be doing a lookout, sir. No, big problem, because somebody played a card so that you automatically fail your lookout, sir. So yeah, this BSB is dead already. So otherwise, this is how it looks for the Skaven and how they're kind of moving around. Uh, at this point, they're kind of more just staying in their corner and just kind of moving out. I'm pretty sure already looking at this that there must be an alliance between them and the elf player. All right, so now we're going to be going on to the good guys here. And what's going to happen is that the lizardmen, they went and put these skinks in my way. Now, that's not a big deal because I can charge them, overrun, and probably get actually farther than I would normally. But I don't fail any animosity, but I do fail a stupidity here. So that was huge. Biting me already for not taking a BSB, but yeah, this could have been some easy points, and then I could have gotten where I needed to be. Otherwise, I charge with the Thunder Trolls of Orc Olympus, and they destroy the skinks that are by them. I really hope that my shooting can get me some big points, but one thing I realized is that whereas normally I just throw down war machines and they can just shoot whatever I want, yeah, this is a 10-foot table, and so I can really kind of shoot as far as the tower there for most of it. So, wow, that wasn't what I wanted. But either way, my shooting did almost nothing for me, just scattered off and stuff like that. So sad news. Actually, well, the Doom Divers tried shooting the skinks in front of me, hoping that they panic away, but they didn't. As well, the forest in front of me turned out to be a venom thicket because that's what I always get, and I've already lost a few wounds there. All right, so now we go on to the High Elves. They're going to be charging in the Sword Masters here. And sorry, guys, really crappy picture. This is the thing. It seems whenever I took off the flash, this would come up now and then. But really what happened here is that they beat up the HPA and it didn't come back. They won against the Demon Prince and Chariot, and the Chariot ran away. And that's really it. So now we're going to be going over here for the Lizardman player. He's going to be charging in the Stegodon over here into this unit. But he's going to trip on the forest and die. And this is a pretty big deal because you get to pick your opponent every phase, so that if he was in combat here, he would say that the Skaven player is his target for combat, which would mean that he would not be fighting with his Temple Guard. So not only did he lose a Ancient Stegodon to nothing here, now he has to fight over there too. And by the way, yes, he took a wound from cannons or something before. He didn't just straight up die just because of the forest. All right, so once he was done moving, it was really the Carnosaur that came up here, up onto the scree slope. Yeah, his Slan and Temple Guard are all gone, so that's tons of points for the Leroy player. Otherwise, yeah, just kind of moving up with some Croxagore and other stuff. But yeah, looking kind of bad for that I Love PC Lizardman player. So this is the board after turn one. Really, you can probably see that Leroy's army is probably in the best situation right now. Although the Chaos guy, he's also looking in a pretty bad situation as well. And one of the things I'm tempted to do because of how I'm in a bad spot is if I can get my Savage Orcs to the flank of those Chaos Warriors, that's a lot of points. And so, alliance or not, it's Triumph and Treachery. So I might have to mix in that Treachery again. However, the thing that would kind of stop me from doing it is the last time we did Triumph and Treachery, I had an alliance with the same guy, the same Chaos guy, and I betrayed him. So unless I want to set up a pattern and have him never trust me again, I'm going to have to balance the options. All right, so we're now on a turn two. We're going to be going with the Chaos. They're going to be charging the Skinks that are here by them. They're going to catch them, reform. Otherwise, the Chariot's going to try and charge the Salamanders and fail and trip on the wall. The Doom Wheel's going to go up here to try and kill this guy. It's also going to trip on the scree slope. Yeah, there's a couple of wounds. And when it comes to the shooting phase, he's going to roll a misfire and not get the shoot there. So that's bad news. All right, so after the turn is done here, the Carnosaur actually kills the Doom Wheel. They did get +3 toughness on it. However, it wasn't enough. Something got through. Doom Wheel died. And yeah, not looking good for that Chaos player. The Chariot's still running, panicking at Warp Lightning Cannon. So yeah, there you go. Over here, I finally get to do something. Hey, that's pretty awesome. So my Savages are going to charge these Skinks. and get some points there. Over here, of course, I'm going to have some issues. You know, I took these war machines so that they could be doing lots of damage. Well, one's going to misfire and explode and panic the others. I did measure after, and the right Doom Diver would not be within 6 inches because, wow, we were spaced out. But come on, war machines. And this picture is horrendous, but what I want to show here is that the Thunder Trolls of Orc Olympus just ran through the forest. They took a few dangerous terrains there, but I beat the Skinks overran, and in overrunning, I am millimeters out of being in range of the Trolls, so they're probably going to be stupid now, and that sucks. All right, we are now on to the Chaos, I believe, and what happens here is, no, this must be the Lizardmen, sorry, the I Love PC Lizardmen. I just call them light blue. Anyway, they charge a chariot. He flees, gets away. The Carnosaur redirects into the warriors, and he fails. Otherwise, in his turn, there's not much he can do. The Saurus turn around to face the Saurus Cav, and the Salamanders are breathing fire and stuff, but not too much done in the turn. I think he did like a comment to me or something like that. Otherwise, we're now to the Skaven turn, and this Hell Pit will be going into the Salamanders. This guy here, the guy who's going to be a pedophile, he's going to be warping over here to try and get to Mulek. This Salamander rolls double ones and holds. It also rolls double ones to turn and face, so that was pretty cool. And otherwise, that's the turn there. So they're starting to roll out and getting to the middle of the board, and this is kind of dangerous because first of all, again, obviously, they must have a alliance, and this is where, you know, the Triumph part of, you know, having alliance is so good, is because normally if you looked at this, you're like, oh yeah, that Hell Pit and the Steam Tank are just going to slam into the flank of the Swordmasters, but they're not doing that. They're just going to the center, and what this is giving the Skaven player is a safe flank, and they can control both pizzas. They're not right now, but if this continues, they can control multiple pizzas. Otherwise, here we're going to be looking at the Leroy player, and he's going to be shooting a cannon down my line here. And I thought, well, whatever, I'm just going to pass my lookout, sir. No, that car gets played again. I automatically fail my lookout, sir, and he kills America. So all of a sudden, the fact that I was out of range of the Trolls doesn't matter because he's dead anyway. All right, otherwise, his turn looks like this. Really just coming in to look at the Warriors, and those Warriors are in big trouble. They have a lot of stuff facing them, and that block of all the characters is serious business. So, danger. Otherwise, over here, the High Elves just pretty much advance, keep on fighting that Demon Prince, and not too much with magic and shooting. And this is the board after turn 2. Really can see my Orcs and Goblins playing a very small part, which is frustrating at the least. But otherwise, the Lizardman player, the blue one, Leroy, they're clearly doing the best so far as killing stuff, because they already got a ton of points, and they're about to get more from the Chaos Warriors, probably too. And this will be our standings here. So I'm still in the lead, plus with some cards or play when the guy to your right wins a combat, when the guy to your left wins a combat, and stuff like that. I have got a few more points, but you can see that Leroy really catching up, plus guys like the real Keith getting some points as well, like from killing, I believe he killed a Carnosaur finally, so he's getting up there as well. And the Elves, yeah, I mean, everybody's just starting to jump up. All right, so now we're on to turn 3, and we're going to be starting here with the Warriors of Chaos, who are going to reform with their Warriors to be in ranked formation. He's going to have some rallies, and then otherwise, yeah, now, if nothing else, you can see the Carnosaur is dead. Coming over here, he's going to try and charge in here with both. I believe somebody paid off the Ogres to not charge, but these characters are going to be doing lots of work, because I believe they even have wild form on them as well. So after that, he does kill enough to take away Steadfast, but he rolled the double ones to hold. So double ones showing their head. You can see that he moved some skinks up to redirect me. But again, that's what I might need to get where I need to. But one of the things that I would like to do is that given the situation, it'd be nice for me to charge the chariot and get into the warrior's flank with the overrun. Now, you might look at that and say, well, come on. If you do that, you're breaking your alliance. However, at this point here, we know that either me or that Lizardman player will get all the points for those Chaos Warriors. They're basically all dead, so I might as well get them, right? I'm part of the alliance. Otherwise, here, sorry again for the crappy pictures, but these Croxagores are going to be charging here into the bell. This is where he puts the comet over here that I talked about earlier. And then otherwise, yeah, when that turn's all done, he does not beat the entire bell by himself, so he breaks. By the way, Techo Echo is out there because they failed the panic test, so that's not a good place to be for Techo Echo. But yeah, this player, he's actually hoping the stuff all dies so he can go home early. All right, so now we're on to the good old Orcs and Goblins. I'm going to fail a stupidity. I'm going to have the comet lie down and, kill a bunch of my guys. Really, I kind of move up with my... Well, I'd have to charge those skinks and beat them, overrun to get to an okay place, and otherwise it's kind of moving up. Over here, his Sword Masters are going to be charging into this one Chaos Lord, or whatever it is. And over here, still fighting as well. I can't believe those Silver Helms are even still alive. And at the end of the turn, it looks like this. So the guy they were fighting there, I believe he has like a 3+ rerollable ward or something. So he loses by combat res and runs away, but gets away. And otherwise, that's it for the High Elves. On the Skaven turn, you got your dirty little rat dart, which Kieran is determined to do good work. And they come over here and they catch the fleeing Croxagore and kill them. Otherwise, they are going to look like this. So the bell really going over there and putting on some pressure. The steam tanks, they've been trying to shoot and get their own points as well. And this is the board at the end of turn 3. So the interesting spot here for me is I guess for the center is, like I said, it is a random player who the player order is random all the time. And so those Chaos Warriors, it's a real question who's going to get that. Because again, if I go first, I can get there. If the Lizardman player goes first, whoever, it's really going to come up to the cards. Meanwhile, there's a horde of Sword Masters in the middle of that army there, and they're going to be an issue later as well. And this is the points at the end of turn 3. So again, I still have a lead, and it's actually gotten even larger because I had some cards, like if I win a combat against a guy on my left, I get additional like 100 points or something. So it's still looking good there, but I need to get more points other than just cards to really solidify it. All right, so the Sword Masters go, and they come into the Warp Lightning Cannon. Guess who's going to win this one? Otherwise, it looks like this. The Silver Heart Helms finally die. Finally, after all these turns. Otherwise, the Phoenix Guard are just happy sitting there. And again, when would this happen that the Phoenix Guard would just be standing by 2 steam tanks not charging? Alliances. I wish there was a card that would force people to break them. Otherwise, we're going to be getting to here. He is going to be having some of these Saurus die. This is from Magic, I believe. So the Magic did not go and kill all these Saurus. Or did he charge? No. This is him wanting to get home. So earlier with the Skaven Magic, he did almost kill that entire unit of Saurus Cav, but failed by 1. And on this Lizardman player, he's like, screw it. I could go back in the building, but I'm just going to charge. So clearly they died. So now all that Lizardman player has is some guys in the building, which is contesting or controlling that pizza. But otherwise, yeah, that's more points going to these Lizardmen, which I really didn't need. And they're going to get the next turn, so they're going to charge in here. So, oh no. And as well, he's going to bring his Mournfang over here. So if I fail another stupidity, it's like, hey, free flank and 630 points. So that would really suck. Over here, he tries to shoot the cannons, but due to some cards, they're going to not shoot. And then he's going to beat those guys and run them down because he also has the Jaguar standard. So yeah, he runs down those Chaos Warriors, and that's huge points. So, ouch, the Leroy Lizardman really doing well. On my turn, not so well. So I knew I was going to fail stupidity, or probably. Then what I was going to do is that Whelpsley was going to run over and join the unit so that, sure, the Mornfang, if my shooting didn't knock them off the table, because mercenaries are also at -1 leadership, so if I kill one Mornfang, they're probably running off the board. So anyway, the plan was if that failed, Whelpsley would join. He's a Goblin War Boss, so he's leadership 8. So if he charges me at the Mornfang, I'll be steadfast on an 8. I should hold, and then I can start trying to whittle back. But I fail Animosity, and the two units fight each other, so that I basically get to do nothing. The one Doom Diver was going to shoot the one Saurus Cab and net me tons of points, but he plays a card so I can't shoot it. The other one's out of range, so it and my remaining Rock Lava go after the Mornfang, and the Rock Lava scatters, and the Doom Diver does 2 wounds, so I don't cause a panic test. So this turn was just a whole bunch of nothing. On his turn here, though, he's going to try and charge, and what's going to happen is first, he wanted to get the points from the Sword Masters, but they played a card, so that actually I believe I sold him a card, making it so that he'd have to pick someone else. So he said, whatever, I'm going to go after Mr. Malorian and get those trolls. Well, I kept on bribing these guys, and it got up to 400 points to say, no, you will not charge, and then instead of me paying it, the other Lizardman player liked it so much that he paid the debt for me. So this worked out fantastically. Of course, this Lizardman player, the Leroy one, he was kind of frustrated, but hey, that's Triumph and Treachery. All right, so at the end of his turn, though, it's going to look like this. I believe his cannons tried sniping something out. I can't remember what, but this will be the end of his turn. On the Skaven turn, they're going to be coming in here into this last Saurus Cav, whose points should be mine, but that's the way the dice fall. And what am I showing otherwise? I believe I'm trying to show some magic or something. Yeah, this is going to be where the bell is going to be doing lots of damage and stuff, doing plague. Plus, hey, hooray, finally a good picture. So anyway, he's going to kill that Saurus Cav, get those points. He is going to be doing a Crack's Call, I believe, through the Ogres, and they're going to panic eventually. Over here, Warriors of Chaos, he's going to turn to face with this Demon Prince here, and otherwise, yeah, not much going on for the, the Chaos player. They don't have very much left. So this is the board after, what is this, turn 4 now, and I'm in an yeah, I'm not going to say I'm in an okay position. My Savage Orcs hopefully will start killing something. I mean, if I can fight those Ogres, I can kick their butt pretty good. But it's all about whether they dedicate them or not. So, man, I got to get more points. And well, let's see. Otherwise, I'm controlling a pizza. That was good to get some things. Sword Masters, they could be going for my flank. It's not a good time to be Orcs. All right, so it looks like I didn't show a picture for the standings, but really Leroy is in the lead, I believe. So on the Chaos turn, he's going to charge in here at the Demon Prince, and that should be a pretty easy win, which it is. And otherwise, the other one just kind of goes up onto the scree slope. However, one thing that happened in the turn that was important is I have an ambush card, so that if I'm a neutral player and somebody's picked as the target for shooting, I can also shoot at them. So I said, hey, ally, pick these Lizardmen to be your target, because then I can send a Doom Diver over there to try and kill those Mornfang and panic them. Misfire. Okay, so otherwise over here, I can't actually remember what's going on. I remember. He beats up the archers. That's going to panic the Phoenix Guard, so they're going to be running down here. And finally, the alliance is broken, and the Steam Tank said, hey, lots of points! And all of a sudden, that means a Skaven player is really going to be up there in points, too. And yeah, that's the danger of alliances. You never know when they're going to fall apart. It's always when you trip, that's going to be, okay, alliance over, and it's going to kick you while you're down. Otherwise, over here, it's going to be some crazy magic going on. There's going to be the one here where it destroys the building, so that's going to kill some skinks. And also, it's going to be going through here, killing one cannon, panicking the the Iron Guts here, so they're going to run. And also, that's going to go and panic the other, what's it called? Iron Blaster. So all this stuff is running over here. So this is what it looks like at the end of his turn. So the Skaven really getting dominant. Here around 3 pizzas now, and this was my real worry from the start. On the I Love PC Lizardman turn, they charge that Iron Blaster and send it off the board. So, all he has these 5 skinks, but he can still do something. Otherwise, the Swordmasters, they get to go next. They go for my flank and fail. I was trying to tell them, you should reform, Staface, or Swift reform or whatever, or even just like, okay, this is what you could do. Send a character out to redirect that huge mess coming at you, and the rest of the guys just get out of the way. But no, he goes for the big points, which is probably realistically the best thing to do anyway. Especially since he had a card that gave him plus D3 movement, and he got the full 3, but he still just failed the charge. So I dodged a bullet, but now he's in serious trouble. And that's what's going to happen here. He's going to try to come and charge in, and I'm going to hand over a card saying, you do not get the charge, or you have to pick a new target, because, yeah, this big thing here. Oh, actually, this is where this happened. Sorry, I screwed that up. So he wants to charge here into the flank, and I sell the card now to say you can't charge, and now is when I bribe the Mournfang to not charge here. That's how it works. So sorry that I said that before, but that's how it really works. And again, this is where that Triumph and Treachery stuff can be really crazy. So I bribe these guys not to charge. The one guy pays the toll for it, and yeah, lots of points that could have gone to this Lizardman player did not happen. Otherwise, here's some bad points, or bad pictures, but I decided to go for a charge onto the Hell Pit. I fail and go into this wood here. They'll slowly eat some of my guys. I fail stupidity, but Whelpsley goes over to join the unit. I also failed with this over here. So these guys just kind of moved over, but I tried casting Occam Mindrazor onto the Savage Orc Biggins, and somebody plays a card, so I had to play it on a different unit. So my archers have Mindrazor now. And then otherwise, I'm going to try doing some magic and stuff. It's not going to do anything. His Hell Pit's going to go, and it's going to fail the charge. And really, this is the end of the turn. So I did kill some Mournfang. They are going to run off the board, so I did get some points there. Finally, it's been a whole game of me getting like no points, but I'm finally going to get those. And otherwise, this is where the Orcs and Goblins are. So we are kind of in a threatening spot where I could get into the flank of the Lizardmen, but it's all about who goes first. And so this is the end of this turn. So you can see I'm actually scoring on a couple of pizzas. So that's some more good points for me. But there's a real big thing of who's going to get first for all these big hordes here, powerful units down on the bottom. And here's the points. I've actually managed now to pull back up again. Those Mournfangs really helped. And so I have a kind of a good, healthy lead. But again, there are hundreds and hundreds of points at stake. So it could really, I'm glad to see this because there's really 4 of us that are still in contention for winning this thing. All right, so we're going to be coming over here. They're going to want to charge. And we play another card saying, nope, not allowed to charge. So really frustrating for the Lizardman player. But hey, that's what happens. And over here, the Skinks are going to charge these guys. And sorry, no, not yet. These guys are going to fail their rally, come over here, and that means the Skinks are going to be able to do their thing again. So at the end of their turn, really, the Leroy Lizardmen did almost nothing. On these Skinks' turn, the Skinks send these guys off. These guys have to be like the MVP of the whole game. They're probably, like 60 points, and they must have gathered for themselves, I don't know how much, but they've been warriors. All right, so now we're going to be going here with the Skaven. He's going to get a kind of misfire type thing with his Hell Pit, and it's going to go slamming into his own steam tank. Otherwise, he is going to be shooting down a cannon down this line and killing one of the characters. He actually had a good chance of killing both characters on Cold Ones, but just could not kill the last one, the one at the bottom, which is actually the general. So that could have been even way more points. Big crappy picture of it, but this is where he is. Showing the Demon Prince just flying around, that one last character flying around, just to really contest pizzas. I said the one demonic mount guy should be going for the far pizza, because there's probably going to be guys here in the middle anyway, but this is where he decided to go. And then the Orcs and Goblins go. So this is going to be fantastic. I'm going to charge here into the rear, and I also failed Animosity on the Archer. They had to fail too. Now, he has lots of characters, but I have Mind Razor. I actually also have some cards that will give me +1 initiative, +1 strength as well. So my guys here should be amazing, and I should get some massive points here and win the game. So the problem is, okay, at this point, it's the end of the game, and so really, the only way that you can win or get more points is by selling cards. And man, you'd think that we're in the middle of some sort of like market or something, because trades were going on all over the place. But the spell that gets or card that gets used here is the one where this mage can't cast any spells. So whereas I want to put Mind Razor, I can't. Now, I still have a lot of bonuses going behind there, so I think I'll still be okay, but not getting Mind Razor was huge. And then the cards start falling. This is just some of them, but I kind of regretted some of these because one of the guys came over, tried to give me some cards for +1 weapon skill. I said I didn't need it. Then when I was trying to deal with some other one, turns out he sold them to the other guy. So the Lizardman will be +2 weapon skill. I'll be +1 initiative, +1 strength. Then some of these guys will throw these oil slicks down so that we're both going to be re-rolling to hit just for fun. So this will be a crazy combat, but really whoever wins this will pretty much win the game, because if I win, I have things where I get, if I don't even catch them, I'll be getting big points because I have cards where I get an extra 200 and stuff. If he catches me, it'll be big points. So right now, we're kind of deciding who's going to win the game. In the end, though, although I killed a good number of his stuff, he killed lots back. He wins by 2. I play a card, so he wins by 1. He also played a card so that I didn't get my horde attacks and something else too. I was disrupted. So all of a sudden I didn't get my ranks and all these things. But it turns out he wins combat. I lose by 1. I break, but I get away. Remember, he's a Jaguar standard, but I get away still. And now I'm wondering where these points are going to fall. So anyway, this is the final show of where everything is. The Swordmaster is going to charge here. I'm just going to flee because I'm within range of the pizza with Whelpsley anyway. And that's going to be the game. This is going to be everything. So now we were really looking forward to going over and looking at the points. And as it turns out, look at me. I'm way ahead with 2,700 points. But what the hell? Kieran Dunleavy has 3,000. You know, while I was so worried about it's either going to be me or Leroy, right? One of us are going to win with all the points going around. No, with all the selling of cards, Kieran Dunleavy sells tons, gets up to 3,000 points, and he's going to win the game. So that's kind of great. I mean, it's bad for me. A second is still nice, but Kieran Dunleavy was running the whole campaign, so lots of work on his part. So, you know, kind of nice for him to see those. To pull out the Trixie win in the end. And the rats, you know, the rats doing their jobs. At first, I was actually going to take this picture too, saying that, hey, you know, they did awesome. They're the MVPs for points. But now that I look forward, going backward, the point ratio of cost to earned definitely has to kind of go more to the skinks. Although I guess when you charge guys and send guys off the board, you don't get the points. So in earned wise, yeah, I guess this little rat dart actually is the MVP for the way that works out. So there you guys go. Go out there and buy more giant rat darts. So either way, that was the end of the campaign, and I had lots of fun. It was really good because, first of all, you got to have games in all the time. I mean, sometimes you can kind of forget to arrange games, so you can go for a period where you don't have them. But here, you know, I'm going to have this game with this person, and it's just kind of set up for you as well. I have the 3 different armies here, right? I have America with his Orcs only army. I had my Mulik, who was supposed to be all beasts. Although I didn't get to play that one, that could have been a cool one to play. And then I had Whelpsley, which was a Night Goblin army. So neat to see the different type of builds. It didn't seem like other people really went for those big theme differences, but I went with that, and I thought it was a blast to have these really themed armies. One of the things that was kind of surprising is how poorly America did. In the last book, there was an item that gave you +1 toughness, and my guy that take that would be fantastic. You just crush face and be invincible. America with plus D3 toughness was dying all the time because now in this book you have the ogre blade, you have the sword of anti-heroes, and these guys were slapping around like he was nothing. Like toughness 7, whatever. I'm strength 8 or strength 9, and it was just you just gained his butt kicked. So that was really surprising. One of the things I kind of want to point out too is how crushing in this game it was to have that Lisbon player with all the characters. I'm going to be having a video talking about later with the new Death Stars coming up with the changes and all this, but it's kind of interesting to see that play in this game where that army was just crushing people, right? Your front rank is all these tough characters, and especially now that you have the new 50%, we're going to see that more and more. So, like I said, I have a tournament coming up where I'm going to be starting to see lots of armies that have that. So it'll be neat to see what people take. But either way, this has been a long video. I'm sure you guys want to know. It took 7 hours to play this game. We went from 6:30 to 1:30 in the morning. But that's the way it goes with these Triumph and Treacheries. Oh, not really the Triumph and Treachery. Even just these larger games where there's all these people. There was so many thousands of points on the board. There's 6 people playing, but it was really, really fun. So anyone out there who's wondering, should I play a big game? Should I do Triumph and Treachery? Yes. Try and find Triumph and Treachery. Try and get those cards because they're really, really fun. So either way, thanks for watching and bye.